barbell, if you have dumbbells, your feet are on the floor. If you want to use a band, by all means, use a band. You can do anything you want to make these exercises more challenging. I'm just gonna do like the basic of what I would like you to do. Obviously, if you want to use bands, ankle weights, anything like that, feel free. But we're going to have a group of exercises and we are just going to run through them. And we are targeting your glutes today. Yes, there will be other muscles in your legs that you will be using, but I really want you to focus on your glutes. So each exercise is going to be 55 seconds, and then we will have 15 seconds of rest before the next one. So we're gonna do dumbbell glute bridge on the floor. Then I'm gonna have you put your feet on top of something, and we're gonna do feet elevated thrust. And then as we go, I will tell you what we are doing. All right, you guys ready? So on the floor, your feet can be wide, they can be together. I just want you to make sure that your knees are apart when you are doing this. And we're just gonna go up and down, and make sure you get a hard squeeze at the top. I don't care how many reps you get, I just want you to make sure that you're really using your glutes. So everybody ready? We have 55 seconds here. Make sure you're getting your hips up, you get that good squeeze. You almost want to think that the dumbbell is coming towards your face as you're just going up like this and keeping your belly up. Make sure that you keep it tight. Good, feet on top. Same thing, make sure you're getting a good squeeze at the top. You're missing. Twenty more seconds here. Good. For the next exercise, I would like you to either, if you have a ball or a pillow, or you can even use a small dumbbell, but I'm going to have you put it between your knee, like right in your knee, and I want you to really squeeze it because we're going to be going up. Think your heel is going towards the ceiling when you do this. You can do the same thing with a dumbbell. Again, making sure that you're really squeezing it. You don't want it to be like resting. I want it to be that really good squeeze, and your heel is going to go up towards the ceiling. So we will start in about 10 seconds, and we're going to do each leg. You can either go down on your forearms, or you can on your hands or your fists. Good, so try to keep your foot flexed, get that good squeeze. Good, switching to the other leg. You still have 10 seconds to get yourself situated. If you want to go right into it, by all means, be my guest. Just try to think heel to ceiling. That might mean that you don't bring your knee so far down to the ground. Just think kind of up, 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 and keep your foot flexed. You have 20 seconds. Good, I'm gonna have you all stand up. You are going to put your foot on top of something. And I have rear foot elevated split squats. However you want to do this. If you want to go down and you want to pause at the bottom and squeeze it up, if you want to do smaller pulses, however you want to do this, you can. I just want you to think about leaning forward with your torso just a little bit so that you're putting the weight more in your front heel so that we can hit your glute a little bit more. If you find your hips twisting too much, think the back knee that's up, lean it towards the front knee a little bit more. So it'll just kind of rotate your hips inward. Good, you're switching legs. So again, if your hips are twisting out, just think that you are going to sort of rotate your torso a little bit towards that front leg to try to close your hips in. You have 12 seconds. Good, I'm gonna have you put your bands on above your knees. And you are going to put your feet on top of whatever you are using for your step. I'm gonna have you bring your hips up and then lower them so that you're hovering above the ground. You are just going to do abduction, so you're pushing your knees apart. You have 15 seconds. Good, I'm gonna have you stand up. You can take that off. I'm just gonna pause this for a second. So with your band, if you have the band, attach it to something secure like the bottom of a TV stand, the bottom of a couch. If you do not have a band, you can also use dumbbells. But we're basically doing a Romanian deadlift, so knees are soft. And you're going to send your butt back. Feel the tension in your glutes, in your hamstrings, and then drive through your heels and squeeze up. Let it come forward and squeeze. I want you just to concentrate on feeling the tension here as opposed to standing up and arching your back. We don't want this. I want it all here. If you're using dumbbells, you are just soft knees, lower down, and squeeze it up. Try to keep your arms straight when you are doing this. Just think that you're sending your butt back and squeezing up. Good, Shani, just back up a little bit. Try to keep your chest up just a tiny, tiny bit more. Good, we are going back down on the ground for glute bridge. Grab your dumbbell. Ten more seconds. Good, feet are going on top. You want to use a band, if you want to use a dumbbell, just make sure that you are pushing through your heels or that you have the bottom of your heels on top. Focus on feeling this in your glutes. They should be tight when you come to the top. 15 seconds. Good, ball or dumbbell behind your knee. If you are using a band, you can use the band. Just think that your foot is flexed and going towards the ceiling. 30 more seconds. Good, Taylor, try to squeeze that dumbbell even more. Try to bring your foot closer to your butt. Yeah. And think up more. Don't drop your knees so close to the ground. Good, back up. And maintain that squeeze the whole time. Good, switching legs. Good, so flex your foot so you want it flat. There you go. If you start to feel it in your back too much, make sure when you lower your knee, you're relaxing your glute just a little bit so that you can really squeeze it up. You have 15 seconds. Good. 1 foot back, rear foot elevated, split squats. Thirty more seconds. Good, switching legs. When you do this, I want you to think about your back leg. I want you to think that that knee is going down and back. You have 25 seconds. Good, you guys are gonna put your bands on, feet up. Now you can decide how high you want your hips to be, either just above the ground if you want them a little bit higher, but just make sure that you are focusing on both knees driving out. 10 seconds. Good, grabbing your bands for the RDLs. If you want your feet a little closer, if you want them a little bit wider, just keep your arms straight. Think that you are sending your butt back, your arms are straight, and then drive through your heels and squeeze. If you want to add a little bit extra tension, you can squeeze the band back, but still keep your arms straight. Good, back down on the floor for glute bridges. Think that you're rolling your hips up. Ten seconds. Good, feet on top. So if you had back pockets, if you were wearing jeans and you had back pockets, think about bringing those towards the back of your knee. So rolling it up and squeezing. Fifteen seconds. Good, dumbbell or ball behind your knee. Make sure that your foot is flat going up towards the ceiling, really squeezing it. Fifteen seconds. Good, switching legs. Good, band, or no, just kidding, stand up, rear foot elevated. So your bun should be nice and toasty. So you should really be able to feel this and dig into that. When you feel that, squeeze up. Make sure you're really using your glutes. "25 seconds. Again, if you turn your torso a little bit towards that standing front leg, you may feel this a little bit more. Good, switch. "20 seconds. Good, now we're putting your band on, feet up. This does not need to be a big movement. I just want you to feel this inside of your glutes. "15 seconds. Good, standing up for the RDL. So keep your arms straight. Don't drop your chest too much. And if you stand up and you need a little tension, still keep your arms straight. Just draw them back towards your thighs. Feel free to play around with however you want your feet, if you want your toes out a little bit, if you want to be a little bit wider. The most important thing with glutes is figuring out what works for you. Good, everybody back down for glute bridge. Some people may find that they feel something more if they have, for example, a ball in between their knees, or they have a band and they're pushing out, or their toes are facing in or toes are facing out. All of these things are going to help you better develop your glutes the more that you realize, oh, this works for me. Do more of that. It's the same exercises, just small little variations for you. Good, feet up top. Ten seconds. Good, ball or dumbbell behind your knee. Foot is flexed. Remember, it does not need to be a big movement. You have 15 seconds. Good, switching legs. Make sure that you keep the space between your foot and your butt small. You don't want your foot out here and your butt here. Really kind of squeeze that in. Good, Taylor, make your foot flat. Good. Good. Concentrate on lowering your knee. It doesn't need to go all the way down and then squeezing up. Good, everybody standing up. 1 foot back. If you find that you're feeling this too much on the leg that's up, I want you to lean your torso forward a little bit more and make sure you're putting more weight into that front heel. Ten seconds. Good, switching. Twenty seconds. Good, band on, feet up. Fifteen seconds. Good, bands off, standing up. Good, take your time. 20 seconds. Good, everybody grab some water. We are going to do one more thing. I'm going to have you put your band on. You are going to lay on your back on the floor. I want you to put your knees apart as hard as you can and think about maintaining that tension. So if your feet are really wide, but your knees are baby giraffes, that doesn't work. So that's why I want you to think knees out. I don't care how far your feet are, but I do want you to point your toes outward a little bit, just so we can hit your glutes a little bit more. We are going to do pumps. What this means is you are going to try to maintain the tension the entire time. These are fast. So I just want you to think you don't need to go down and up, down. It can kind of remain in the middle as long as there's constant tension. So we are going to do this for 55 seconds and then you guys are done. Are you ready? Where's my band? Starting in 3 seconds. 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. And you are done.